Hey YouTube, welcome to another video. So in this video, we're going to talk about Agent April, who just said she picked up her kids from Bible study. But guess what? She's out here now studying Candace Owen business. Let's get to it.
Sitting outside because it is a beautiful night. I just picked my babies up from Bible study. And I wanted to do an informal live stream. You guys know me. I've been creating content regularly on this channel since January 1 of 2022. And I pretty much stay in my lane. I cover the culture. I cover social things. I cover political things. And I dip my foot into the theological sides of the street. And I do all of that. And I bring my biblical perspective in my own way. And as many of you know, I tend to keep and levy my criticism and really harsh commentary for false teachers like wolves, individuals who would malign the name of Christ and who go out of their way to be deceptive. So this live stream is a little different. It's a little different in that we're not dealing with some false teaching wolf or an apostate, or we're not dealing with a political figure that is mishandling their position by deceiving the masses in an effort to, control them and subjugate them. We're actually going to be talking about a cultural icon tonight that I've done very little content on. Outside of me providing commentary when Candace Owens converted to Catholicism, I did a review of the debate that she brokered between Allie Beth Stuckey and her husband. Outside of that, I very rarely utter Candace Owens' name on my channel. I've only met Candace a few times in passing. Saw her most recently in Fort Lauderdale on election night down at Valuetainment. But outside of that, I don't know Candace that way.
All right, she said it. She don't know Candace that way. All right.
I'm making an exception tonight. As you know, Charlie Kirk was recently assassinated in a very public and brutal and heinous way. And all of us grieve in different ways. But tonight's video is from the perspective of a wife. Like, I am somebody's wife. And I am in direct contact and close connection with so many other individuals who are males, who are my peers, who are my colleagues that I love and respect. So this perspective is going to be from someone who understands what it's like to navigate in circles with the opposite gender. And also from someone who has dealt extensively with narcissists and narcissism. Okay? I don't want to make this personal. I really don't. And I have avoided talking about this, but it's to the point now that I need to say something. And I don't care if the Candicites, right, her followers, her beehive of sycophants who are holding on to every single word that she says as if it is the gospel of truth. You are free to have your opinion. But it doesn't make what I'm about to say any less true. So I'd like to start off with the story. Y'all know I'm good for a good story. So I want to paint a picture for you. Can you imagine when you come to this awakening and you are discovering new ideologies and a new worldview, and you're kind of wet behind the ears and you're bright-eyed and you're bushy-tailed, and you find that one individual that's like your cultural muse, that person that just gets you. Y'all are finishing each other's sentences. you know, you're both a part of this movement, and y'all are as thick as thieves, and that's like your ride or die. Well, I would say that from a cultural and political perspective, Charlie Kirk was that to Candace Owens. They were friends. Thank you so much for that super. As I was saying, I believe that Charlie Kirk was that muse for Candace. They were friends. They worked alongside one another, building something amazing, and just created this magical movement that was a force to be reckoned with the millennial and Gen Z generation. And so when I see Candace come out and, you know, pay tribute to her friend, it makes sense. But I'm noticing some things that just don't sit well with me as a wife. And I'm also noticing some things that are just completely inconsistent with the narrative, the shareable narrative that she's creating on her channel and on social media against the backdrop of reality. So I'll talk about those things when I finish my story. So imagine you meet your cultural and political muse, and y'all are building this organization, and y'all are traveling together, making content together, fundraising together. I mean, you're in the trenches before anybody really has a lot of money. It's just the grassroots of it all. And then that individual meets someone. He meets the love of his life. She's a beauty queen, like literally, like a former beauty queen. And I did some research and I pulled a timeline. Dating back to 2018 to try to figure out what is motivating Candace Owens to say the things that she is saying, to cast aspersions and to imply in so many words that, you know, she won't say this outright, but she'll put enough doubt out into the ether to get people questioning, saying, well, I don't trust Erica Kirk. It's something in her eyes that just seems off. And, you know, perhaps Turning Point may have something to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. We don't know, who's to say. And then add on top of that her anti-Israel hatred, and just you put it all together, and it's like a narcissistic it's
Agent April. I am confident now this woman is an agent. She's out here trying to paint, as she said, a picture of Candice. Sounding to me, so far, I'm listening, because I'm like, okay, I know, you know, it's a long video. I don't want to jump to any kind of assumption and accuse and whatever. So let me just listen to her for a little while, let she talk. And I'm like, okay, this woman is clearly trying to paint a picture, as she said. As she said in her own words, she's painting a picture. And what I realized, the picture she's trying to paint is Candice, you know, help or somehow was building this company with this guy, Kirk, and he found, you know, this beautiful woman, and Candice knows somehow jealous, and she's, you know, Erica Kirk this and Erica this, and I'm like, yo, I have been watching all of Candice's videos ever since this guy passed away, and I don't hear Candace Owen put anything out there like she's questioning his wife in any negative regards. Like, I don't hear that. So I'm like, what this woman really saying? Who tell you to say this? Cause you sound like you were told and paid to come out here and say negative things about Candice, but there's not a lot of negative things to talk about Candice. So the easiest thing to do, which again, one, they send a woman. So you know, if there's a man attacking her, it might look a little bit like, okay, why a man attacking Candice if you don't got anything really to attack her on? So they paid, because trust me, you get paid for do this. You dangerous woman, you. Maybe I study, you know. So them send a woman, a black woman, to attack another black woman, trying to accuse her of she's being jealous. That's like, oh, she's being jealous, so look, she is questioning Erica, which is Kirk's wife, and also questioning Turning Point, which is, you know, the legacy now for Erica. Like, yeah, one dangerous woman, you know. I mean, know this topic is a very dangerous topic, but yo, I don't even care. Dangerous woman, this. And she's slowly building up this picture as she claimed. But I'm going to make she keep talking because I'm on to what this woman is trying to do. And I'm sure you is an agent. But anyway, allow her to keep talk.
It's the musings of an individual who is not tethered to reality and who is grieving almost the loss of a lover as opposed to a friend, but is grieving the loss of a lover that they kind of broke up like a really long time ago, but they want to lead everyone to believe that they were besties. And I find that so interesting because I was at Charlie Kirk's memorial. I have friends within the Turning Point organization, and I know for a fact that they don't think very favorable of Mrs. Owen's father. Okay, that's just the truth. They don't. There were no images of her and Charlie during those early days in the infant stages of TPUSA anywhere at the memorial. There was no footage shared of Candace Owens from the early days. Not an image, not a video, not a soundbite. I just, thought that was strange. You see, I know what it's like to collaborate with an individual that becomes obsessed with you, and they may never come out and tell you that they feel about you more than just friendly professional camaraderie. They may not ever say it, but their actions and the way they opine about you publicly leads everyone to believe, like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you acting like this? You sound like a jilted lover, not a friend who's mourning the death of a friend. I've had run-ins with narcissists who, when they've lost you, or i.e. when you walked away.
This woman is I don't want to say it. This woman is a traitor, yo. All what you're saying, you don't got no proof of. You're only saying that, well, because someone told you to say it. But then you're only saying that because, according to you, Candice is she's investigating her friend death. And because she's doing so and asking questions, you're trying to make some kind of correlation like, oh, she is doing this because the guy was her lover. You see how deceitful and wicked a woman is? Like, why are you doing this? I don't think it's jealousy. Because Candy's been doing her thing, and I guess, you've been doing your thing. So to me, at least to me, this is my own opinion, it seems like this woman is an agent. You're getting paid to attack Candice, trying to get her to shut up, because I guess she's talking about the situation like, oh, this is not just a friend. Like, what do you mean? Is that how you can distinct that? to say it's not a friend. She's doing it like it's not, like it's more than just a friend. How you tell that? Because I can't tell that. I don't know how you tell that. And Candice did not say anything bad about this man. A matter of fact, the first video Candice did, she said it's only two persons can actually stop her from talking. Her husband and Erica. She said that. And if Erica not reach out to her and tell her, I say, hey, you know, could you just stop talking about my husband? Or her husband don't say, hey, leave that alone. What if stop her from keep talking? But them send you, April, to put a whole twist to this thing. To say, oh, it looked like she was a secret lover or a long-time lover. You're one dangerous black woman, you know. But make you keep talking.
This no longer serves me. You are unhealthy. I'm going to go over here. I wish you well. Don't wish nothing bad on you. But I'm over here living my life, and you do what you need to do over there. I know what it's like to see a person crash out when that happens. And in my opinion, I believe what we are witnessing is the utter crash out of someone who is still feeling some sort of kind of way because Charlie was her dream man. That was her dream boo. They built Turning Point together, and then he meets the beauty queen, right? And it wasn't supposed to happen that way. What was supposed to happen is that they were supposed to build Turning Point, and they were supposed to be the power couple. And it didn't turn out that way. Because from the moment Charlie Kirk met Erica to interview her for a job, he instantly knew, oh no, I don't want to give you a job. I'm trying to make you my wife. I'm trying to date you. That is a matter of public record. And if the timeline that I've pulled serves me right, give me a moment while I access said timeline. I got a little time today. Okay. The timeline that I have pulled. Where are you? Here we go. Nope, that's not it either. I gotta access it. Give me a second. The timeline that I'm going to pull seems strangely coincidental. See, what I've realized that as a Christian, discernment goes beyond the spiritual. You kind of just have to use your discernment and ask more questions. Because Kansas is making a whole lot of assertions, and she never provides any proof. She just casts enough doubt to make you want to run with the narrative, and the next thing you know, you're looking at Turning Point USA.
I am not a Christian, but I have enough discernment for know say you, April, is an agent. What proof you have for accuse Candice? I mean, were Candice, I guess, in some kind of early relationship with the guy from France, the president from France? Wouldn't she investigate him? So I guess she's jealous. So the other woman, or I guess allegedly dude, the wife or husband, I don't know how they want to put it. So Candice was doing that too because she were jealous. Yo. And also, Candice was also investigating the last presidential candidate, which is Kamala, I don't know what the fuck her name is, Harrison. She was investigating this lady intensively too. So Candice was investigating Kamala intensively to find out her background. Candice is like that. That's why I should name myself. And I hope Candice see this, because I would like to join her team. You know what I mean? Because like, brilliant black woman. I wish there were a lot more women, or black women particularly, with the brain and the mind and the thought process like a Candice Owen. Like, do I agree with Candice Owen? Like, everything that she said? No, I do not agree with every single solitary thing Candace Owen ever said. But I have to acknowledge that Candace Owen is a very intelligent, very strategic, very intellectual, very like with wisdom. Like she's a smart woman. You have to see that. And that is the reason why our platform grows so much. That is the reason why so much people like her. And she tell you too, she's very honest. I was not perfect. I wasn't always like this. I used to believe in this, that, and the third. So, that being said, how you come to all of these assumptions, Mrs. April Lady? Come on to you, you know. The same way you're on to Candice, I am on to you, but except I'm not getting paid. I wish Candice could have paid me. I'm gonna laugh. This is a serious matter. I wish Candice could put me upon her payroll. Because I know she not have time for you. Because she not have bigger fish to fry. But me not mind fry you. Yeah, man. I don't mind fry you, April. Because you're not nice. And you're coming out here saying all these things about a lady that I'm sure you very well know so she's not like that. Candace Owen is, I would say, comfortably married to a guy from Europe. I think she have baby number 4 now. Where she worry about Charlie Kirk for? They were friends. I know this woman is happily married. She never thought this other way before. So why would you want to insinuate that on this late? And then at the same time, you say you think you do something good, but it's also doing something bad, because what you're saying is a possibility. I don't know, maybe possibility, something, whatever. So Charlie Kirk was doing shady stuff. In a nice. Who's to ever pay you to come on here saying these things? They must set you up too. But they don't care. I'm sure they don't give a fuck about you. But they're setting you up. But because I guess the money good, I don't know, maybe doing it for the clicks and the views and whatever. And maybe I try to get some of Candice Owen subscribers. You think this is very, I don't know, you think it's important. It's not. But keep talking, because you're very slick, you know. But a lot of people are going to sit through you, though. Trust me. A lot of people are going to sit through the bullshit and know say, you either get paid or you're jealous. One out of the two. I don't know.
The letter that BB, I know I'm a little all over the place and I'm skipping around. I'm going to come back, but...
Yeah, you are. Let's get to some more interesting part of the video, because she really saying a lot of stuff and I don't have time to watch out the entire 1 hour video and react to it. So let's get to some more interesting part.
Even remotely put the thought in people's minds that his wife had something to do with it. I'm of the opinion that you wish you were Mrs. Kirk, but because the chips didn't fall and land that way, you had to settle for your Timu knockoff version, the UK version of a Charlie Kirk. He was close enough. And I'm also concerned that your husband has not reeled in your mouth and caused you to zip it, not because you should not be allowed to voice your opinion.
Disrespectful this lady is, yo. Disrespectful. This is a woman who just said before she started her life, oh, I just pick up my kids from Bible study. So the Bible where I study and your kids them I study, I don't know what way I study. It sound like I study Candice business. They tell us enough to do them something, yeah? You accuse the woman of having some kind of affair with Charlie, and then also disrespecting this woman's husband, calling him a knockoff. Let me repeat that part. April, you out here as a Christian, you claim, disrespecting this woman's husband. Why would you want to call this lady, Candice, a black woman like yourself, why would you want to call this woman husband a knockoff? Like, what? That's crazy, yo. Make sure you go and talk.
Or concern surrounding what may or may not have happened, but out of respect for his family. It is rude. It is disrespectful. It's very mean girl narcissistic.
It is disrespectful to somehow trying to find out how your friend died. Candice have tried to find out for her friend. I guess for some reason she's a problem to April. So she needs to do a video. She just randomly do this video. Like, who think April just randomly do this video with everything that's going on? Just randomly do this video to attack Candice. And I guess she just care about, you know, this guy and his wife and his family. It's not jealousy. It's not she getting paid from whosoever. Like, let me see in the comment, after I don't watch this, who actually believe that. Because I don't. Make sure keep talking. And I'm going to skip through to get to some other important segments she touched on, which I'm like, whoa.
They don't share her stuff. And there's reason for that. I believe, once again, this is my opinion, I believe that Candace Owens wishes she was Mrs. Charlie Kirk. She is supposed to be the CEO of that organization. How dare this beauty queen who's...
So, there you go. April is pretty much saying Candace Owen is not happy with her husband and 4 kids. So she just wish Charlie Kirk was her husband. So now he died, she's having a fallout. She's crashing out on the internet. This is a woman who would call herself a... You have to be careful. Like, so, that's why you say politician, pastor and police, me not trust none of them people. Religious people, them same one crucify Christ. But anyway, let's the one them also over, like everything. They're like, oh, I'm Christian. Let me not say that because I don't want, you know, trigger on a Christian people to be like, oh, I don't like this guy. So let me just keep my mouth shut. But anyway, April is a dangerous woman.
If I think about it, if you were there from the beginning, sorry, I don't mean to shake this, in the early days, and then here comes this beauty queen, pretty blonde. Y'all, Erica fine, I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all seen her when she was Miss Arizona, but Erica, I'm a female, and I don't look at women in that way. I'm just saying, she's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful inside and out. Her and Charlie shared the same worldview. He didn't have to, you know, do a whole lot of detoxing her from any liberalism or anything like that. She came pre-packaged and preloaded with the proper defaults just for him. Candace, on the other hand, was still evolving in her worldview. And while we don't want to take away from what she helped Charlie build, you do have to ask yourself, why would she publicly make the kind of content?
This is what they call black and black crime. So she literally saying Candice, I guess she don't look good. She's not as beautiful inside out. This is another black woman. But if anybody else criticizes a black woman, it's a major problem. But listen to how this black woman talking about another black woman and pretty much saying that this other lady, like, you can't make this shit up. And again, it's either this situation here is either jealousy, or she's paid to do it. That's my 2 cents, my opinion. Either way, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Let me just skip to some more interesting part in this video so she can keep pretty much exposing herself.
And she is personally trying to hurt Erica and tear her down because she's always wanted to beat Erica. She's always wanted to beat her. That's my opinion. And I could be wrong. I could be as wrong as two left shoes. That is highly possible. And this is aside from her Jew hatred, okay? Listen, I'm not a dispensationalist, okay? I'm not. I have my theological positions. I have my geopolitical thoughts about Israel, and then I have my theological thoughts about Israel. I don't hate Jews. You're not going to make me hate Jews no matter how hard you try. Something is wrong when a person has made it their personal life mission to spew the kind of hatred that we hear her spewing. Hear me clearly and make the proper distinctions. I'm not a Jewish apologist, nor am I caping for Palestine. And to be fair, y'all really don't know. You really don't want to know what I think about the conflict over in the Middle East right now, because you'll be like, dang, April, that's wild. Like, really? Yes. It'd be no different. I'll give you some insight as to my thoughts. This is what I think about what's going on in Israel. It'd be no different if Mexico one day decided to lose their minds and start sending over people across the border to harm us and blow us up and make it their life mission to kill us. Do you know what my response is going to be? Oh, they got to die. Blow the country off the map. That's how I feel.
There you have it.
And so I can take my emotions out of it and understand Israel's response. And I understand that there are casualties of war and people die, including women and children and all the fields. Pull out the baby violin all day long and twice on Sunday. But I can guarantee you, if Mexico started wilding out and doing what Hamas and other people were funding them to do to America, you think I'm going to just sit back and be like, what about the babies?
Wow.
What about them? What about them? This is about national preservation at this point. So those are my thoughts on Israel. I ain't gonna spend a whole lot of time on that. And it has nothing to do.
Wow. There you have it. There you have it. Christian woman. First thing she talk about before she go live. Bible study, kids. But then she's also telling you, what about the baby? What about them? Blow them up. Blow the country off the map. Like, you got to be careful of who you're lending ears to. This is a very dangerous woman. This guy's in what she called like, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a lover of Christ, but I don't practice Christ. Anyway, let me scratch that. The point is, this woman have some, I wouldn't even say she have a personal vendetta against Candice. I will say she's a paid agent. I believe that. And it's here, and she clearly, as she said, you wouldn't want to know my views and all these other things that she just said. But let me know what y'all think in the comment. Do you think she's doing this for the fact that she just believes Candice is doing something wrong? Or she's just a paid agent? Put it in the comment below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share with friends. Appreciate y'all, man. It's really crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy boy. That's all I gotta say. Peace out.